Disclaimers. I do not have any actual beef with anyone mentioned in the video. Please do not harass or send hate to anyone mentioned. In this video, the hybrid or hybrids are just purely made for entertainment purposes. With all that out of the way, let's get to the video. Hello everyone, this is Cooldinos and welcome back to another brand new hybrid war video. How's everyone doing? Shortly after my Quagga video, make sure to check that out, I was just thinking about what other YouTube video ideas I should make next. And while I was doing so, I got a transmission from a fellow hybrid creator and geneticist that won Paraceratherium about a new challenge brought to the hybrid making community, the hybrid horrors. The boss creature that is presented in this challenge is a theropod dinosaur which bears a striking resemblance to a Jurassic World hybrid, called Teratoscorpius regina, or Project Helion. This hybrid weighs in at about 1,500 pounds, or roughly 680 kilograms, and measures at a height of 7 feet at the hips, and runs at a top speed of 36 miles per hour. This creature has a total of 16 genetic contributors, each playing a vital role in its biological functions and behaviors. Essentially, this is a 2.0 of the original Scorpius Rex from Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, an improvement, if you will. Now, with this in mind, he had invited each of us to participate in this endeavor to eradicate the species, considering it has broken out of containment in an abandoned facility belonging to Paracera Genetic Tech, located in Pennsylvania, and had rapidly proliferated within facility grounds. However, this challenge does come with a couple of ground rules, which leads to here. Of course, I will briefly explain the rules as per usual to bring context, as well as some factors I'll have to keep in mind. Like in other hybrid competitions, we can use only real animals in the genome, meaning no fictional animals like Jurassic franchise, Ark, etc., and this means no invalid or dubious taxon, no hominids, meaning no humans or other closely related species, but with some additional rules, such as a genetic contributor limit of 16 animals in total. Hybrids can weigh up to 2,000 pounds at the maximum and 100 pounds at the minimum, and the hybrids must be able to survive in the harsh conditions of the facility. More on that in a moment. Lastly, for just some style points, the hybrid must be as scary as possible in order for it to fit the theme of this challenge. For fun, of course. There are some rules for engagement as well, such as the hybrid fighting within the facility itself. It will be fighting a hybrid individual, that being the Teratoscorpius, in a 1v1, and it will receive no human assistance, except for getting into the facility itself and for cosmetic purposes. Additionally, there will be 3 main locations in the facility I must keep in mind, as well as potential hazards. The first is the genetics lab, which was originally dedicated to cloning and hybrid creation operations for the company. This section of the facility is prone to toxic gas leaks from the damaged pipes. The second location is the residential area, and while it may look peaceful and homey, don't be fooled. The small corridors of the residential area serve as a death trap for any unsuspecting victims to Teratoscorpius. And lastly, the botanical research section. There is an abundance of plants and jungle in this part of the facility, which provides excellent coverage for hybrids, including the Teratoscorpius, to conceal themselves. There are also some parts of this section of the facility that are flooded, and most of the water is located here, providing moisture to the denticles and skin of the Teratoscorpius. If you do want more detailed information pertaining to this competition, go check out his video. It will be linked in the description. With all that in mind, let's get to the... Wait, I'm getting a call. I need to take this. One moment. Hello? Oh! Hey, Mr. Harrison. I'm doing well. What is the occasion?
Hello, Dr. Dinos. Glad you're doing well. I'm doing great. I've received a message from Paracera Genetic Tech. about a rogue hybrid population in one of their facilities.
Oh, so you've also received Paracer's transmission.
Indeed. I do wish to chime in this time. You must be recording for another video at the moment.
Yes, I am recording at the moment. Do you have any ideas, boss? What is your suggestion?
What about one of the prototypes?
What? Mr. Harrison, with all due respect, are you sure about this? Many of the prototypes are either unpredictable, unstable, too dangerous, or all three.
I am sure about this. Do you trust me?
Always have, sir.
Great. See you soon, and best of luck on the video.
Thanks, and you too, boss. See you soon as well. Alright. I guess we'll head over to another facility. It's one that's off the grid and meant to keep the location of the prototypes hidden from the public. So for now, I'll cut the footage, but we'll be there soon. Okay, we've arrived at the facility. We'll head over to one of the paddocks for one of the prototype species, one I have in mind that is suited for this occasion. The debriefing will begin shortly. This hybrid today has a total of 10 contributors, each playing a vital role in the hybrid's biology and functions. Does this creature have what it takes to become the ultimate Teratoscorpius killer? Let's take a look and find out. Before we continue, make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and click on the notification bell to make sure to not miss out on my content. Subscribing is free and it really helps my channel. I hope to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. With all that out of the way, let's get to it. The first genetic contributor in the genome is Achilobator giganticus, a large dromaeosaur. This provides the overall base of the hybrid. This will be a perfect balance to our hybrid's weight, right in between the range of 100 pounds to 2,000 pounds, as well as provide a decently athletic yet equally powerful build to the hybrid. With the theropod build also comes with the efficient respiratory system. While real-world dinosaurs in itself can be scary in the right context, this doesn't exactly add in the fear factor this competition is looking for, at least by itself, which is where the rest of the contributors will come into play. The second animal in the genome would be the Yi-Chi, a small dinosaur with bat-like wings or arms that would be able to glide due to its smaller size, on top of being able to climb and scale natural structures such as trees. However, due to the large dromaeosaur build, the idea of gliding, let alone flying, may not be possible at all. Instead, the wings could provide the hybrid an additional tiny speed boost while running, potentially help the theropod steer a bit more efficiently, serve as a form of intimidation, and in this context, we'll explain soon later, will add onto the fear factor. This creature will provide the wing structure as well as an additional elongated rod-like wrist bone for additional support of the membrane structure in the wing. The third genetic contributor in the genome is Australovenator wintonensis, an Australian megaraptoran. This dinosaur will provide muscular and more flexible arms as well as a highly developed range of shoulder and elbow movement, which will allow for more effective wrestling and grappling, as well as the development of the claws of this specific megaraptoran. Additionally, megaraptorans, Australovenator included, could also semi-pronate their wrists, which is surprisingly flexible for theropod standards, which will be applied to this hybrid dinosaur. All of these traits will come quite in handy for this hybrid, and for future hybrids as well. The fourth animal that will be utilized is Balar Bondok, an avialan that lived in Hatteg Island in late Cretaceous Europe. Now, this dinosaur will contribute to two things, that being the stronger, stockier, and muscular legs, even down to the modifications of the pelvis and the leg bones, which are far more robust proportionally than others with a similar body plan like, say, dromaeosaurs. It will also provide the development of two raptorial claws, or the sickle toe claws, on each foot, meaning that 4 toes will develop on each foot. This will be really useful soon, and for the reasons you may be thinking. Because of all 4 contributors, all of which have either been likely to climb to a certain extent or have been confirmed to climb due to their lifestyle, this will result in a hybrid with the ability to climb and scale obstacles, such as walls, rocks, and trees. The 5th genetic contributor is the common mussurana, or Clelia, a non-venomous colubrid snake. I probably mispronounced its species name, please do not slime me. Now, in the real world, there are some snake species that specialize in hunting specific prey items. This goes for any species, but I'm talking about snakes in particular. This includes some snake species, such as this one, hunting other snakes. In this context, the common mussurana just so happens to hunt highly venomous snakes, such as the fer-de-lance, and also happens to have a powerful immunity, or resistance at the very least, to the hemotoxic and necrotoxic venoms of the fer-de-lance. The same venomous snake that I just mentioned, the fer-de-lance, also happens to be in the genome of the Teratoscorpius. Because of this, the common mussurana was implemented into the genome for its strong natural immunity or powerful resistance to hemotoxins and necrotoxins. The 6th genetic contributor is, interestingly enough, a bear, specifically the sloth bear. Now, this particular bear species will contribute to one thing, that being its ability to close its nostrils voluntarily for extended periods. While the bear in real life will often use this when it is feeding on termites and termite mounds, for example, the hybrid will be able to use this ability to close its nostrils in areas where lethal gas leakages are located. That, or it just can close its nostrils when it's feasting on corpses. The 7th animal in the genome is the slow loris. I'll be using Nycticebus bengalensis, or the Bengal slow loris to be more specific. I'll explain why this unusual primate is in the genome. Now, for context, slow lorises are the only known primates in the real world to actually possess and produce their own venom. However, unlike most animals that produce their venom, they actually secrete an oily substance for a modified sweat gland called the brachial gland, and these primates are able to lick the secretions that come from the sweat gland in their arms. As a result, the substances secreted from these glands get in the mouth. Despite their small size and cute appearance, they wield a highly venomous bite, particularly flesh-rotting necrotoxins. Just being bit by one in real life would mean you have to visit the emergency room. Now imagine that on a dromaeosaur build. The addition of these brachial glands, coupled with the necrotoxic venom production, should prove quite useful in this hybrid's genome. Additionally, the slow loris also provides an additional number of retinal rods in the eyes, which will allow for exceptional night or low light vision for the dromaeosaur if its base contributor didn't already have night vision. The 8th contributor that will be implemented is the European or common starling. Now, you may be wondering why I am using this bird and not, say, a corvid. I'll get to that in a moment. Common starlings are highly intelligent on their own, and can even learn and remember new tasks much like some other birds, such as recognizing individual humans and their faces, and solving complex puzzles to obtain food. However, their vocal range is extremely high, as they can remember and even perfectly mimic a wide range of sounds, from other animals in the environment, human voice lines, electronics, and even machinery such as cars. Their mimicry is actually superior compared to that of corvids, and corvids are already good at vocal mimicry as is. If you don't believe me or want to see for yourself, look up European starling mimicking sounds perfectly. There are plenty of videos out there about it, it's really cool. Anyways, all of these traits, both in intelligence and in their ability to mimic a variety of sounds, with the necessary modified internal structures, will be implemented to the hybrid. This could be useful either in going undetected to blend with the environment or luring in prey, and the hybrid would be able to solve complex problems to find and obtain food, even in figuring out how to beat its prey, such as the Eusaurocaesor. The ninth animal that is implemented in the genome is the palm cockatoo. Now, this will enhance the overall intelligence a little bit more with the starling and allow it to effectively problem solve. However, I'm using it primarily for looks. The first will be for its feather crest fan on the head, and the second will be for some of its influence of the feather colors. These may add on to a bit of the style points coupled with the fear factor of this hybrid. The 10th and last, but certainly not the least, genetic contributor that we'll be adding is the common ostrich, or Struthio camelus. The largest bird alive today contributes to the powerful and well-developed tendons found in the legs, which will allow for stronger legs and for some pretty devastating kicks for the hybrid size. Additionally, this bird will also provide its superior stamina and endurance to the hybrid, allowing it to participate in its usual activities for extended periods of time. With all of the contributors revealed and being integrated into the genome, I finally present to each and all of you the Eusaurocaesor tessitudinos, or the true terrible silent slasher lizard. The statistics for both male and female specimens, and for the species as a whole, are shown on screen. They average at about 600 to 630 pounds in weight, 4.5 to 6 meters in length, and at around 1.6 to 1.8 meters tall at the top of the head, or 1.4 to 1.5 meters tall at the hip. It has a wingspan of about roughly 10 to 12 feet and can normally run at a speed of about 2.7 miles per hour. Now, because this is a prototype species, the congruence may be a bit off as the company experimented and mixed a variety of animal genomes to create these first hybrids. But for the sake of consistency, we'll apply it here.
For the congruency test, 7 out of 10 of the contributors are of the Archosaurida clade, 8 out of 10 of the contributors being reptiles, and only 1/5 of the contributors are of mammalian origins.
You can pause the video here if you wish to read everything. Generally speaking, the species is a lot smaller and lighter than the Eusaurocaesor, but what they lack in the weight department, they have a more nimble build as well as deadly necrotoxins, and the ability to climb and scale structures and obstacles thanks to its ability to climb. Additionally, due to their ability to climb, they could very well reach a higher vantage point in some parts of the facility undetected by their opposition, to drop down and take the Eusaurocaesor or Helion by surprise. Additionally, I will mention these hybrids' potential preferences when roaming the facility based on some additional tests done behind the scenes with additional built-up simulated environments. While they may pass through the genetics lab and close their nostrils to hold their breath for extended periods, not to mention take advantage of the additional space that the Eusaurocaesor possibly cannot reach, they don't prefer staying here for too long. The residential area is the only location that the Eusaurocaesor specimens do not prefer staying in, if at all, due to the cramped spaces. They could use it to their advantage against singular Eusaurocaesor if they're lucky or if they're hunting prey, but more times than not, they'd often lose their lives here in a one-on-one confrontation with the Eusaurocaesor. As of the botanical research sector, they apparently love hanging out around here. Not only does it provide ample hiding spaces and more potential areas to climb, but also holds a decent source of water to drink from, which would be inherently useful not just to sustain its survival for extended periods, but also to take advantage of that against its main targets. I do need to note that, fortunately enough, none of the hybrid specimens that were used during simulated experimental tests were harmed. We have precautions and followed proper code for all of these simulations, even if they're prototype creations. And now with the methods of how the hybrid would be able to fight against its opponents, the Teratoscorpius. This thing would either lie in wait, either in plant cover, or even on the walls at a strategic angle to wait for unsuspecting Teratoscorpius. If the Eusaurocaesor is on the ceiling, it will drop down from above to latch directly on its back, coupled with the sudden increase in weight on the opponent hybrid's back, combined with the powerful legs directly landing on the spine, it would cause some either critical damage or stress to Helion's spinal column, assuming Cooldinos, the representative, gets past the quills first. He could also do this when Helion is either moisturizing the denticles or is trying to get a drink. He could also lure the opposing hybrid by mimicking familiar sounds of the same species or the sounds of prey to draw it closer to its general area. If it is a direct face-to-face combat on the ground, Cooldinos may have a few tricks up his sleeve. His species, including himself, have black feathers and dark gray to black skin, with red patterns starkly contrasting to more monotone colors in very particular arrangements. Each pattern is unique to each individual, and Cooldinos' pattern intimidation displays are not only to make himself bigger thanks to the wings, but also look terrifying, and possibly make the human mind of the Teratoscorpius to be spooked, as the patterns of the underside of the wing membrane are meant to vaguely resemble a creepy, toothy smile when fully outstretched, and looking at the front of the animal. Additionally, he'll have to wrestle and attack Helion through conventional melee means. If neither intimidation or regular physical attacks by kicking or clawing and wrestling with the hybrid works, he has one last trick up his sleeve: the oily secretions from the brachial glands, which are located near the elbows, could be preened just when Cooldinos feels or detects the presence of a threat or opposition, with the oily necrotoxic secretions will inevitably end up in the saliva. If Cooldinos manages to land at least one bite, preferably more, during a conflict while he has the oily secretions in his saliva, he just may well secure a win, depending on where he bites, or make things a bit easier for him, as the flesh of the Teratoscorpius rot and decay to a certain point thanks to the necrotoxic venoms. As a result, it could leave Helion momentarily vulnerable depending on where it was bitten, and Cooldinos could take full advantage of this weakness. Now, I will have to say, because of Helion's genes regarding the giant salamander for regeneration, well, it may be a little bit harder for Cooldinos to get past that. But with the necrotoxic venoms, it may counteract this a little bit if it was bitten if the same area was bit multiple times. At least that's what I think. Relatively speaking, this prototype species is more stable in its genetics compared to some of the other prototypes in this facility. However, we could not use it or properly interact with it due to it being incredibly unpredictable and dangerous due to its capabilities. In fact, we lost quite a few staff members because of these bat-winged dromaeosaurs. God rest their souls. Despite this prototype species being currently unsuited for its original purpose, some of the genetic contributors within this creature have been used for other future creations, which would result in either being far more stable in its Despite this prototype species being currently unsuited for its original purpose, some of the genetic contributors within this creature have been used for other future creations, which will result in being far more stable in multiple aspects, in one of these creations even being suited for human companionship, but those will be revealed in due time, of course. And yes, while the Eusaurocaesor vaguely resembles an InGen mutant hybrid, the Mutodon, it actually was the inspiration. Due to the fact that they both have membranous wings, I assure you that they are nothing alike. We'll try to separate one of them from the others in their simulated environment, ideally the asset named Cletus specifically, and send it over to the abandoned Pennsylvania Experimental Hybrid Laboratory, where the Teratoscorpius infestation dwells. We'll also have the other specimens on standby. Guards, scientists, and caretakers of the Eusaurocaesor see to it that this is done right away. We do hope that, despite it being a prototype hybrid, it serves as a satisfactory submission to this challenge. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys have enjoyed the video, make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and make sure to hit the notification bell to not miss out on new content I make. Also, I want to thank everyone that helped me in the making of this hybrid, whether by helping me with the names or suggesting genetic contributors. Well, that'll be all. See you guys on the next one. Bye everyone.